So, Doc, people listen to us for nonsense, and we give it to them in spades. Nonsense, nonsense, nonsense. Some would even say, on our best days, malarkey. Braves, defending champs. Boy, it sure would be a shame if there was no season next year and we were just still the defending champs.
Also, this guy that got hit, how old was he?
46.
What a loser, just sissy man. You just got punched in the face by a 90-year-old man? Come on, dude.
I'll bet Doc is like the Sinbad of Ames, Iowa.
Oh,
because people, I didn't realize, I thought it was just a Doc thing with the corn jokes. Iowa people love corn jokes.
Well, you know what they say, knee high by July, baby.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that's killing in the Midwest right now. I'm sure when that hits their ears, they're like, that Doc, he gets us.
Doc, what do I love more than anything? That's right, an angry football team.
I prefer to think of Warsaw as like a battle of who's the best saw, right? So you have like a sawzall, you have a skill saw, you have a hacksaw, handsaw. It's just a battle of saws till the death.
Welcome to the Spaghetti Junction Boys podcast, coming to you from beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. I am your host, as always, William A. Hildebrand, joined here by Travis Barker. I'm sorry that is Doc Jacobson. Before we get things started here, we want to thank our folks over at Manscaped. Support for the Spaghetti Junction Boys podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you, 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code SJBAtlanta at manscaped.com. If my math is correct, that's about 8 million balls. We were sent packages from Manscaped, 4 packages, including there was the one, the only Lawnmower 4.0. This trimmer is the future of grooming and features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is a waterproof and also has a 400K LED spotlight you need for a more precise shave. Well, thanks to the waterproof technology, say goodbye to the mess on the bathroom floor. Say hello to a cleaner, fresher shave. It's time to take care of yourself, so go to manscaped.com and get 20% off and free shipping with the code SJBAtlanta. That's 20% off of free shipping at manscaped.com when you use code SJBAtlanta. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Doc, I have become obsessed with 2 shows in recent weeks, one of which is We Crashed with, Jude Law? No, not Jude Law.
Jared Leto.
Confused. Yeah, I always get those two confused. Jared Leto and Anne Hathaway. And it drives my wife nuts because she just can't hear anyone in that show talk. But I also love Winning Time on HBO about the Showtime Lakers. And what's made me probably even happier about that show than just the content is Jerry West's reactions to it. Because if you're not familiar with it, he had his lawyer draft a response to everyone with HBO's series Winning Time, talking about how he disagrees with betrayal, that he believes he deserves a public apology from HBO and the producers for their, quote, baseless and defamatory portrayal of him. He's seen as someone with a rage issue, a drinking issue, and seen as, quote, a clueless bumpkin wearing a fishing hat to practice, as said by Wes law team led by Skip Miller. But one of my favorite things is he took it up a notch, spoke with the LA Times, and said, quote, the series made us all look like cartoon characters. They belittled something good. If I have to, I will take this all the way to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, that's not great. That's not great.
This is the most old man shit I've ever heard in my life.
That's like a young kid saying, my dad will beat up your dad. It's the equivalent of that. Like, what is this guy doing?
I never did that. I never said that. He's pissed because of them showing him wearing a fishing hat to practice. that is pointed out by his lawyer team as that never happened. Okay. I remember every hat categorically that I've ever worn to a practice. Never a fishing hat.
I've never even owned a fishing hat.
Fedora.
I've never even owned a fishing hat.
Like it's amazing how angry he is, and I would love for this to actually make it to the Supreme Court. Like, all right, congratulations on your recent nomination. Your first case that we're bringing forward to the Supreme Court is this old man angry because they said he did these things 40 years ago, even though at the beginning of the show they say not everything in this is true.
Well, so yeah, 40 years ago, right? Late 70s, early 80s. You're telling me you weren't getting hammered back then? That's the prime time drinking, drug use athletes that we've ever seen. I mean, they would go out to dinners regularly and just get tanked. I mean, you see them smoking cigarettes on the sidelines still in that day and age. I mean, these guys were nuts. They were animals. So I think he needs to embrace it. I'm tired of this old man yelling at the sea. Just be like, yeah, that's how it was. I enjoyed it. I did wear a fishing hat. Probably was too drunk to remember.
Your Honor, let the record show I never wore a fishing hat to practice, okay? It is defamatory. Me, at the ripe old age of 85, will never be able to get another job in the NBA now.
When he's the logo of the NBA. Like, what the hell? Come on, dude.
What is he talking about? Also, there's a scene in the show that he was mad about where he broke a golf club. And where did they get the intel for that scene? From Jerry West's biography.
It's like, I didn't break the club. I just kind of tested its flexibility, and it just didn't hold up.
This Skip Miller guy has to be one of Jerry's friends, or just has to be an ambulance chaser who's just like, you know what, I could take this on the side. This probably won't take up much time. This old guy's just super mad about, and I guess we need to watch what we're saying here. We don't need Jerry West and Skip Miller coming at us for defamatory statements. So,
or do we? I'll make some. I'll throw it down.
Is that the all press is good press sort of thing?
I think so. Yeah. Jerry West, you're drunk and you wore a fishing hat. Come at us. Let's go.
Yeah, I would love to see that we get added into this lawsuit, that it says that Jerry West and Skip Miller demand a public apology from HBO, its producers, and the Spaghetti Junction Boys podcast.
It's class action. Just goes class action.
Yeah, you know what? Come at us, Jerry West. I think everything was true from that show.
We got a built-in lawyer. We got our man Ben. We already got legal counsel.
Let's give him some work to do.
Yeah, texting Ben right now. Yeah, Ben, we just defamed famous NBA player Jerry West. So get ready for that legalese to come in.
Going off the deep end. Now it's. I just don't understand what he wants from them. He wants a public apology. Who's going to see this apology? He wants it from HBO and its producers. Do people follow HBO's statements? Are people really going to run with that? Or does he want them at the beginning of the next episode to go, hey, you know how we say not everything in this is a true event? We super mean that now? Do we mega mean that? Like, I don't know what you want us to do.
Is he old enough that he thinks like whoever runs HBO now is like a single CEO entity? I don't know if it is or not, but he just wants like a boilerplate letter. Like, I got these bastards. Yeah. They sent me a letter apologizing finally.
Well, I'm pretty sure he found out about this through the AOL homepage, and he said, "Get me Skip Miller on the phone." Skip, yeah, it's Jerry again. Yeah, get me the CEO of the internet. We're coming for him. We're going to bring him down.
Actually, I'm going to take this a step further. I think he Ron Swanson's it, pulls out a typewriter, types up a whole letter, because this show's almost been on for a whole season. Like, this dude's just way behind the ball. Probably doesn't even know how to use a phone. More defamation. Suck it.
Well, we go from one bit of defamation to another. I was alerted to something, Doc, that frankly made me sick. And that is a tweet I saw from Nikki Field, who is a lawyer serving as the 12th Florida Commissioner of Agriculture and a member of the Democratic Party, who is running for governor. Now, if you're worried that this is going to get political, just know it could not get further away from that, as always. Nikki Field tweeted, quote, "As governor, I'll make sure Florida stops trending every day for the dumbest reasons," end quote. A line has been crossed. You come to Florida, Nikki Field, and try and tell Florida man how to live. You're going to go and tell Florida man that he can't get naked and put his butt cheeks under the icy machine at the Circle K? No, ma'am. Absolutely not. You do not have jurisdiction for that. You're telling me we're not going to be able to have alligator races anymore? No way. Not on my watch. This is too ambitious of a goal. That you're trying to you can't control one Florida man, but you're trying to control a whole state of Florida men? That you're trying to act like this is a reform school, Florida is? No. Florida is not a reform school. It is instead like a juvenile detention center where you send your worst kids from all over to go become worse kids and to meet other bad kids and become worse. That is what Florida is with our congregation of Florida men. How dare you try and take this away? And just know you won't be able to do it.
Imagine like this coming to fruition, right? We're like 5-6 years down the road. She's governor of Florida, whatever. And it's like you get a tweet that says, Florida just cured cancer, or Florida just sent a man to the moon. Like crazy shit. You're like, did I fall asleep and wake up in an alternate universe? This isn't happening.
It's sort of that the internet meme where they show a futuristic sort of Jetsons looking landscape, and it says the world if Twitter never existed and stuff like that. Just sort of that ongoing joke. That's what she's trying to create in Florida. But who do you think you are? What do you think Florida is? I just don't understand. How do you even go about policing that? Where do you start? Oh, should we ban meth? No, meth has been illegal. That's well documented. You can't make it more illegal. It's like, what about if we tell people not to eat bath salts? Like, nope, I'm pretty sure I saw commercials for that one time.
Well, and like obviously like nowhere near the same schedule of drugs or anything, but like a big platform of hers is she wants to legalize weed in Florida. So how's that tickle your fancy?
I think she just wants to keep Florida men in the house. Just like, all right, if they're too high and tired, they're not going to be out there, I don't know, butt naked. Everything with Florida men always comes back to some sort of nudity. But they're not going to be naked on a boat, dry humping a shark that they just got aboard the boat. They can't be doing that if they're at home eating flaming hot Cheetos, watching Beavis and Butthead.
They're not going to be able to push a lady in a shopping cart home from the bars. That's just not good for them. I'm just reliving all the Florida men stories we've covered.
Yeah, I was trying to think of them too, and I was like, no, naked meth, naked
45-year-old getting punched in the face by a 90-year-old and then crying to the cops.
Oh, that was great. That was a great time.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
You can't take this away from us. This is unallowable. Do we... I don't want to make this political show, but do we go join forces against her in political opposition as the Spaghetti Junction party and just be like, no, we need Florida as weird as possible.
Yeah.
Screw keeping Austin weird. I want Florida weird.
Well, I think that will be perfectly in our wheelhouse just so long as that is our one issue. People for her opposition will just be like, yeah, you're on our side. Come on. We're just like, no, not with you either. We're just about this keep Florida weird shit.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're about, and I'm not getting into it, and I don't even know any other things that she believes in, but I just am not for this bullshit of let's normalize Florida. Come on.
Yeah.
It's swampland that was never meant to be built on, and we just kept on building it. And then you get the craziest people from New York going down to Southeast Florida. You get the craziest people from the Midwest going down to Southwest Florida. You got rednecks who are probably immortal and have been there since the beginning of time in the Everglades and on the Panhandle. You get everyone who's decided to move from Gadsden, Alabama and Manchester, Tennessee for warmer weather. They all go to Jacksonville and Daytona. Like, come on. It's a microcosm of America, but instead of other cultures from overseas and so forth, it's just a smattering of the craziest Americans you can find with heat that they didn't experience where else they lived, making them even crazier. And you're throwing reptiles that live in no other part of the country into the mix there. What's going to happen? You're going to have madness, Nikki Field. And how dare you? You were born in Miami. You went to college in Florida at the University of Florida. Where do you get off thinking that you can change this state? All right? You've spent your whole life in the state of Florida, and you think it just is because of you can stop the weird? Huh? You have a flash flood. The dams have come down, and a flash flood is coming of weirdness, and you can't just patch up that hole. All right? What's the guy who throws the shit on the boat that makes it stop?
It used to be R.I.P. Billy Hayes. I don't know the new guy's name, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
No, what's the Flex Seal?
Flex Seal.
You can't Flex Seal Florida's crazy away, Nikki Field. You never will.
Well, if you have a portion of your state called the Redneck Riviera, you will never be normal. I don't care how hard you try. I mean, that is one of the fanciest places. With the Riviera is in France, right? Like the original one. That's like supposed to be one of the most beautiful areas of coastline in the whole world. And then you put redneck in front of it, and you get Panama City. You get Pensacola. I mean, I love it. I'm a big fan. Big fan. You can't fix it. You do not fix what isn't broken. Florida's not broken. Right. It's a beautiful state. Everything there is great.
Yeah. Hands off my Florida, Nikki Field. So let's close the night by talking about a post that, weirdly enough, is legitimate news. It started getting picked up by mainstream reporters and outlets and so forth, and it came from a very niche Barstool account, and that's Kansas Wesleyan University Barstool. They tweeted the other day, quote, putting paint thinner in our water coolers to get our baseball players sick and getting toasted by 31 runs is wild. Stay classy. Glad all our players are okay. Hashtag Buck Bethany. End of tweet. Essentially, and that's a picture of a Gatorade cooler that just doesn't look great. It looks like a vortex from Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's the baseball game in question. Kansas Wesleyan won on Sunday, 33-2 over Bethany College.
Well, for those listening, you can't see our background. Our background is the actual picture from the post of the paint thinners in the Gatorade. It looks like the red Kool-Aid guy turned blue and has just peeling skin all over him. That's exactly what that looks like. It is disgusting.
It looks like someone put whiteout on a piece of paper and then just scraped it off with one of those little spatula things and then just flicked it into there. What really concerns me about this is it looks like it's almost all the way empty. Like it's probably got like 20% left.
At least halfway through, absolutely.
And so it begs the question, because I can't imagine it's a subtle taste. Now, despite being from Florida, I have not tasted paint thinner, which is basically spitting on the state constitution. But this, I can't imagine it's just like, oh, something's a tiny bit off with this. I have to imagine you'd be vomiting.
Yeah, I mean, let alone like damage to your stomach lining, something. Like it is a chemical that is used to make something thick and viscous as paint, as free-flowing as water. So I don't know what happens there.
Do you think someone tried it and was like, hey, Alan, you gotta try this?
Well, the other
friend right there.
The other question is are we dealing with, spies in the mix here? How did they go? I'm assuming there's a clubhouse or something where Kansas Wesleyan has these things under lock and key, not, Fort Knox here, but somebody's watching over these. How in the hell does this Bethany team come in and just dump paint thinner into this without anybody seeing it. I almost think it's a hoax. I think they're just trying to really beef up this rivalry, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm always poking holes in things.
Well, is this your time? Because Kansas Wesleyan won the game 33-2. Is paint thinner a performance-enhancing drug?
We might have to get USADA on that.
I mean, did they give them the paint thinner Gatorade or water or what have you late in the game? They're just like, all right, you're beating us by too much. Because frankly, Kansas Wesleyan scored 4, then 11, then 6, then 5, then 6, then 1, then 0. So if they got it after the 5th inning, I'd be like, okay, yeah, this kind of makes sense. But if they were drinking it and then that led to that 11-run second inning, maybe a thank you card's in order, Kansas Wesleyan. Just saying. Baseball's a game.
Guys, then we have to do time. Go ahead.
Baseball's a game about traditions and superstitions. If you win by 31 while drinking paint thinner, do you add it to the mix the rest of the year? Ben's going to be so busy later.
Yeah, I mean, the only issue I have with that is you got to do like a time study. What is paint thinner doing to your body over a 40-game season? You know, does this get adapted up to the pros? Do we see the Houston Astros, the cheaters they are, start dumping paint thinner into Gatorade buckets? Who knows? Where does it stop? It might never stop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's like icicles forming in there from the paint thinner sticking to the side of this cooler. It's absolutely unnerving.
What if it reacts with their blood, thins their blood, loosens up their tendons, gets the arms rotating a little bit more?
Now we're thinking there's some science behind this.
Dude, we should petition MLB. Be like, you know what? We got to outlaw paint thinners. Your next big PED case that's going to come up. Steroids are done. Screw steroids. It's all about paint thinners.
Keep Florida weird. Paint thinners out of baseball. But also, I loved steroided baseball. Steroid baseball is so fun. You could watch someone who looked like the biggest freak at a Gold's Gym who just hit it 600 feet. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. Bring it back for all sports, too.
I mean, those guys knew it wasn't good for them. And I think a kid watching it, people always relate it to, what do we tell our kids? What do we tell our kids? I think you just relate to them. It's like, you have to decide if the literal and metaphorical juice is worth the squeeze. Yeah, you could look like this steroided out freak right here, scream at your family, scream at old ladies on the street, horrible back acne, no testicles, but you can hit it 600 feet and make $100 million. You'll probably die a lot younger, but again, did you hear me about the 600 feet? Very entertaining.
I got to imagine, too, when it's 1% of people that play baseball make it to the MLB, if that, like if 1% of U.S. kids make it. So, I mean, we're talking about a small percentage.
What? 1% of kids making it to Major League Baseball? How many people did you graduate high school with?
103.
So is there one in Major League Baseball currently?
Minors. Was in the minors.
Well, I think it's a...
What? Well, how? Okay, right back at you. What do you? I'm saying at most 1%. It's obviously probably a fraction.
Less than 1%.
Exactly. So exactly, my point even better. We don't have to worry about kids getting on steroids because it's 1/10 of a freaking percent of making it to the MLB. Don't be doing steroids if you're not going to make it to the MLB. There you go. Done.
Yeah. There you have it. That's a great conversation to have with kids. And if you can't afford steroids, there's a Home Depot right down the street. Again, do not listen to any of this.
We need to change our banner from live from Atlanta to not liable for XYZ said here.
Yeah, we're going to have to start opening every episode with that same disclaimer that Jackass used to have before each episode. These podcasters are professionals. Please do not try any of the dumbass things they say at home.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a 16 to 18-year-old kid trying to make it onto the college squad, don't go drinking paint thinners, guys. It's not worth it. Who knows what could happen? Or
why
do.
did you
I'm
get
not your
so
father.
why did you get so granular with that? You made it 16 to 18-year-olds trying to make a team. No one should drink paint thinners, regardless of age or aspirations.
Yeah,
Keep it broad.
Probably, yeah. Nobody. All right. Paint thinners, not in the body, out of the body, not in the body.
We in post, we need to add a "the more you know" music right after Tom says, "Don't take paint thinners."
We have to get the interns on it. What is the chemical compound of paint thinners? Like, what makes it up? If it's just like, really, really saturated water, I know that's a terrible way to explain it, but like,
back on the train of getting people to drink paint thinners.
I might be. I
Are
don't
you
know.
waffling on paint thinners?
I think I am. It might be, it might be. You ever see My Big Fat Greek Wedding where the guy just uses Windex for everything? Maybe that's our new Windex. Gets a stub toe, sprays Windex on it. Has an upset stomach, sprays Windex on it. Maybe that's the next thing for paint thinners.
Thins paint helps with hand-eye coordination.
You will throw 100 miles an hour. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Doc is like the little stock markets emoji when it comes to his thoughts on paint thinners. He's in a love-hate relationship with his feelings on the science behind paint thinners.
And then it's like, is paint thinner to make it like dry, lighter, or is it to take a can of paint and make it 2 cans of paint? Is it the opposite of like double ply toilet paper? Like, what are we doing here? I need to know more about paint thinners. I think I just don't know anything about paint thinners. That's why I can't make my mind up.
I don't know shit about paint thinners. Do I look like a guy who does painting?
I don't know. You just seem like you might have painted a Picasso or two.
Huh? Okay. Well, there you have it. This is a chaotic episode of the Spaghetti Junction. What?
What was that, sorry?
So this is a chaotic episode.
Yes. Well, because we got really NBA playoffs. That's it. I think college or hockey starts soon. We got the draft.
I'm trying to sign off here. Could you please?
I'm not ready. No, I'm just kidding.
Thanks as always for listening. Check us out on Twitter at SJB Atlanta, on Instagram at Spaghetti Junction Boys, on our website at sjbatlanta.com. Thanks as always for listening. Maybe your last episode. I don't know. It may be Doc's last episode if he tries paint thinner. We'll see. We'll see you next week.